Hello, good morning everyone. Well, today we're going to learn how we can submit our application to the Youth Ambassadors program on the website. So the first thing we gotta do is go to the website. In this case, it is Youth uh, Ambassadors uh, dot worldlearning.org. Okay. Oops, my connection is a little slow. Okay, so here we have the site. So if it's the first time you are joining this program, so you gotta create your account. So you can do it either on the top, right, like a new user, or here down below, right? So anyway, and here you need to submit your new user registration, right? Don't forget to consider that your password must contain at least 8 characters mixed with capital and lowercase letters, numbers, and different special characters, right? Okay. So as now I'm gonna use a one fictional name. Let's see. And then here is where you have to type a valid working email account. Okay, in my case it will be gbc.segazundo at gmail.com, right? This is where you click that you are not a robot, and in this case you gotta select all the squares with crosswalks. Okay, so let me see how this goes. This is sometimes tricky. Oh yeah, one more traffic lights. Three as far as I can see. Okay, so don't forget to double check the the email. Yes, make sure your name and last name is well written. Okay, with both first name, middle name, and both last names. Okay, and that'll be it. So you send. After this, you're gonna receive a confirmation, and the next step is to check your email, right? And I just got it, right? So you open the email from Youth Ambassadors. In case you don't receive it, you always can check the spam folder, right? But as you can see, the process is flawlessly. Within the email, you'll be able to see the link in order to verify your email account. Okay, so all you gotta do is open um, this link. As for the other one, you can close the tab, and this is where you set your password. Okay, so don't forget to have a password that contains both capital and lowercase letters, numbers, and special characters, right, or symbols. So I'm gonna try this one. Yep. So capital letter, lowercase letter. Let's see. And well, you gotta verify the password. So that means you have to repeat it all over again with the same lowercase and capital letters, numbers, and symbols, and you change the password. Okay. Okay. There you go. So we are in. That means that we are officially registered in the website. So next time you want to log in and resume your application, so make sure you use the same email and the same password, right? In case you lose or forget the password, you can recover the account by using your email, right? Well, So it says, welcome. Before you begin your Youth Ambassadors application, review the requirements, okay, to make sure you can apply, right? And well, you can also read the frequently asked questions, okay, or email youth ambassadors in order to get a specific answer, right? To start an application, you begin the application. You can save and submit the application, right? Okay, so that means you can do it in different periods of time. Okay. Well, as now we don't have any application in progress, so there's nothing to continue. So this is where you gotta check. As right now we are working on the Youth Ambassadors application uh, for the program for Bolivian students, right? So these are the deadlines, and what we do is select student, okay, student application, and begin application, right? So these are the instructions. You need to fill out the application in different sections, okay? uh, the letters of recommendation, required fields, tracking your application, the agreement. Once you have everything ready and everything is proofread and without any changes, you can submit the application, right? These are the requirements, so you can have a look at them again, right? And this is the application status, right? So this is divided in different parts. You have the background, education, parent, guardian information, international travel, language abilities, short essays, long essays, and the letters of recommendations, right? So all you do is, oops, I guess on this tab, yep, okay, so this is where you can choose the section where you would like to start. Let's start with background, right? So this is where you can modify your name, okay? So make sure it is well spelled, your middle name, right? Okay. Uh, Last name, preferably both last names, fathers and mothers, okay? Suffix could be Mr. or uh, Miss, right? Or you can leave this blank, okay? But the required ones, as you can see, is first name and last name. Preferred name if you would like them to address you with another name, right? That could be a nickname, but preferably you could leave it blank. Regarding identity, this is where you have to type your identification number, right? So all the numbers, and as far as I can see, you can just type numbers, okay? So no need to add any any more letters. Gender, so you can choose male, female, or if you prefer not to disclose the gender, you can also do it, right? But it's also required, right? In my case, male. And if you would like to add another additional gender category, so you can do it so here, right? Birth of date, so there you have the drop down calendar, and this is where you can pick the, I don't know, let's say June, and in my case, let's say 1986, and let's say 19. Okay, so there you have the date of birth, the city. Okay, so this is the place where you were born. I was born in La Paz City. Uh, City, state or province. So in this case, it should be La Paz department. Okay, country, Bolivia, right? Okay. Make sure you use capital letters for proper nouns. Country of citizenship. So you can pick Bolivia right there. If you have a dual citizenship, if none, so just leave it none, right? Ethnic origin. So in Bolivia, at least we have 36 different ethnics. Okay, so you can choose one of them. Most of you would choose to be Quechua, right? But of course, you have the choice to leave it blank. Okay. Health information. So if you happen to have any required special accommodation, right? Especially in result of physical or mental impairment, so you can specify what. Okay, if not so, just type in slash a, meaning not applicable in the situation, right? But it is required. You need to type an A if you don't want uh, them to give you any special treatment. Photo. So this is where you have to attach a photo of yourself, right? Okay, so make sure it is a portrait. Okay, and it could be. Let me see. So this is where you choose the file. So it could be any photo that you have. Okay, in a JPG file, right? Preferably. Okay, and then you choose upload. Uh, Home phone. Okay, as for the phone, so this is the line, home line. Okay, so so here it could be the same one if you don't have a home phone, right? But for both cases, you gotta enter the international code for Bolivia 591 followed by your cell phone number, right? This is my phone number, and here you do the same. So I can copy paste here, right? Unless you have a different phone, a home phone, right? Land line phone, you can type it there. Facebook. Okay, so Facebook has to be your Facebook link. Okay, so make sure you open your Facebook account on a computer and copy the link to your profile. Okay, so in my case, it is facebook.com Alan Dennis Z, right? If you happen to have a LinkedIn social network account and profile, you can do it in the same way, right? So in my case, it's pretty much the same. So linkedin.com at Alan Dennis Z. Okay, country. So regarding to country, this is about your current address. Okay, so in my case, it should be Bolivia as well. Plurinational state of street. So for the street, make sure that you type the street. I mean the house number followed by the street address. Okay, so Potosí street. Okay, so number and the name of the street, right? City. So here in my case, Sucre. Province or religion. So oh, well, actually region, right? You have a Chuquisaca there. Postal code in Bolivia we don't have postal code, so you can type 4 or 5 zeros. Mailing address. Okay, so it could be the same address or I don't know your parents' workplace, right? But it's safer if you copy the same information here. Oops, no, something happened here. Let me go back. I hope everything uh, was saved. That was a glitch. Oh yeah, well anyway, we'll have to do it all over again. So don't click on this button, right? So you will have to do it manually once again. So where is this? Bolivia street. So you copy the same one you typed before. Okay. City Sucre. Actually, Chuquisaca. Postal code 4 or 5 zeros. Here we have some survey questions, right? So actually, it's very important to mention that every change you make, you need to save them um, from time to time in order not to lose the information and type the information over and over again, right? So let's finish with this. How did you first hear about the exchange program? Okay, so If you're part of the alumni, like Inspira or Access, you can click here. If you've seen this information on Facebook, you can also do this. School visit, other social networks on TV, or if you have another one, you can write in the box, right? So I think I would choose alumni, okay, and make sure you save the information, okay. So and check that the application has been saved. As you can see, all the information I typed last is saved there. After that, you can go back to this drop down menu and continue with education. And this is where you type the name of your school as it is, with all names and last names, okay. You gotta choose if your school is public or private, right? Then school address, so make sure you enter the street name, number, postal code, don't forget. uh, so in my case, I could include CBA Sucre as my school as an example, right? In your case, you gotta include your school, okay. uh, in this case, it could be, I don't know, Calvo Street. uh, you can use a hashtag 301 comma 4 or 5 zeros comma Sucre, right? But you gotta do this for your schools, not CBA address, okay. This is just an example of how you could enter the format. After that, grade level, what year of schooling. So most of you are applying of fifth grade, okay. So that will be enough, fifth grade. Grade point average, okay. So this should be over 100 100%. So what you could do is get last year and this year scores, okay. Let's say last year I got uh, uh, 95, right? And this year I got 85, okay. You divide that by by 2, okay. And in this situation, oops, let me see, what's this, the average should be 80, right? You can also do it this in a let me try this. If it works, it should work right here. Yes, right. So last year I got 95. This year I have 85 divided by 2. I should get what's going on here. Okay, so 90, right? So 90 is the average for this year and last year. So just copy the number, okay, the average score over 100. So 80. You gotta attach here the most recent academic record, okay. So as in the picture, you click attach and you choose the file. So it should be a scanned JPG file, right? Or PDF, right? Because it accepts all kinds of files, but preferably JPG photo, scanned document, right, of your academic record. Okay, so this should be the last bimester in your situation. Extracurricular and volunteer activities. So this is where you have to describe all the activities you did outside school, right? Well, it could be in school at CBA, but regarding the activities you did after class, okay, not during class, okay. So after class, uh, could be on the weekends, and you could list them. uh, you could write something descriptive, or you could list them with dashes, right? So here's something, here another thing, right? And so on, right? So it could be one way to do this, right? So what you can include is school clubs, right? Like something like the speaking club, all right, sport teams, youth organizations, community service activities. Okay, you should mention how long you have been involved and how, right? Okay, so directly, indirectly, if you were part of the organization, you were the coordinator of the activities with places and dates. Okay, specific. So be as specific as possible here, right? So right after that, don't forget um, to save every single change you make. Okay, and make sure you have application saved notification, and as you can see, everything we add is saved. You go on with parent and guardian information. This is where you have to type the number of people that live in your house, right? And how much your parents earn every month. Okay, so it could be I don't know, Bolivianos, 2,100. Yes, both father and mother income, right? How much salary or how much money they get every month. If any other family member, as an older brother, also uh, gives money to the family, so you can also add that. Okay. Then you have your uh, parent one. It could be your mother or your father, right? You can include the full name, so that should be first, middle name, and last name, relationship to you, either father or mother, right? Or if it's a guardian, right? The address, right? The street name, number, postal code, don't forget, 4 or 5 zeros, city, so telephone. It could be a cell phone number, but don't forget to include the international code. Yes, plus 591. If your father or mother happens to have an email, so you can also write it here. Employment, so what kind of job they do. Yes, if they do a specific job as, I don't know, a doctor, lawyer, right? Or if they have a job as a salesperson, right? You could also include where they work, right? You do the same for your mother, okay, or any other person who's in charge of you. Emergency contact, this is very important. So the name, it could be either your father or mother or someone close to you, right? Relationship to you, father, mother, or the relationship that this person has with you. The address, yes, in this case, the contact, okay, know your address. If it's your father or mother, so it could be the same address. Telephone, so make sure you type uh, the contact's telephone number, and if this person has an email, you do so. Parental consent. Oops, I think we forgot about this. In any case, you have to, we're gonna provide you with a parental consent, which you have to have it sign it, right? With your parents' full name, identification card number, and signature, right? And you do the same process. Oh, well, actually, here you have the parents' consent, right? Also, it's good that we have this. So in your case, you should get the one that is in Spanish, right? It could be the one in English as well, but let me download this right away. We should ask about this, but in any case, you could download both, okay? The one in English and the one in Spanish, right? For your parents, I believe it should be the one in Spanish, right? So they can read and understand what they agree on. Ooh, unfortunately, this is not opening. Let me try once again. Yeah, it's a Word document. I think it won't open here. So let me open the document. And once finished, you're gonna attach it here, right? Yes, the same document. Let me see. And yeah, so this is the youth ambassadors, parents consent, right? Oops, no. We always get glitches when doing this the last minute. Okay, but anyway, so this is the document that you have to edit, save, and attach it here. And once you select the file, you upload it. Make sure you save. Once again, every time you save this, and you get the notice here that it's saved. Then you continue with international travel. As for international travel, the first question is if you have a valid passport. Okay, so if it's your first time applying for this, so you can simply say no, because you may get this once you are accepted in the program, right? International travel. So it has to do if you are selected as a semi-finalist. Okay, so if you are able to travel to the U.S. Embassy, in this case in La Paz, for an interview, right? Or given the case, you could have an online interview, right? So just say yes. Okay. Have you ever visited or lived in the United States? So in most of your cases, no. Have you traveled to another country outside Bolivia? So no, right? In case you say yes, you gotta explain the reason. Okay, how long and why you traveled to United States or to another country, right? So please be honest if you have traveled to Argentina, to Peru, to Brazil. Okay, and then once again you save this. Okay, all the information is saved. You continue with language abilities. As for language abilities, well, what is your native language? Okay, in most our cases it is Spanish, right? But if you have been raised in a different hometown, and your family speaking a native language like Quechua, so you gotta write the Quechua here, right? But to most cases it applies in Spanish, right? And here's where you have to list other languages you have studied, right? So in your case should be English, and 1 year, 1 year and a half, okay, and 6 months, let's say. Yes, and if you have studied another language as French or Portuguese, Quechua, you can also mention it below, right? Once again, you gotta be honest about this. So this is something regarding English. So I guess, well, you could also mention it here. How many years? Don't forget, 1 year and a half. Right? Where did you study? So this is where you have to write the complete name: Centro Boliviano, Centro Boliviano Americano Sucre. Is English spoken at home? That this means if your parents, both father and mother, brothers, sisters, and anyone else who lives at home, speak English in a regular basis, right? If that happens, yes. If no, just simply click no, right? In all your questions, you gotta be honest, because you may have the same questions during the interview. How would you describe your spoken English skills? Poor, fair, good, excellent. Okay, it's just a self-evaluation. Okay, so at this level, I would choose fair, between fair and good, right? And of course, you will demonstrate this during the day of the interview, right? So for our cases, would be fair or good, right? And this is related to speaking, right? What about writing? Okay, so how do you deal with writing? Okay, and short answers, paragraph writing, essay writing, even informal chat conversations. Okay, how do you deal with that? Okay, so it should be fair or good according to how you evaluate yourself, right? And once again, you save this. Oh, here, oh, it says here an error, invalid number, so it has to be just numeral. So in that case, I should say how many years? 1.5 perhaps. Let me see. Well, it just rounded to one. Okay, so yeah, well, it's fair. So you have been studying English for 1 year, so just keep it to one. Okay, in the meantime, of course, in the interview you could explain that you have started taking the program last year in January, right? So once again, you save this. Uh, let's go with the next activity. We have the short essays, right? Make sure you have this ready, right? And consider the number of words. You can easily do this in Word. Let me try. Word. You open Word. So if you have something written in Word or in a different text editor, okay. I'm just typing any words right here. And as you can see, you have the number of words here. So you can also select this, and this will give you the total number of words for the short essay. So, but in any case, let me see. Oh, here as well. No, this. Ah, yeah. So here you can also get a summary of the number of words and characters here. So you don't need Word for this, right? You can use it to double check, but this is working. Yes. Okay. So make sure you have 400 or less. 400 or less. Writing an essay addressing the following questions. Just write your response in clear English and in your own words, right? Don't forget this, okay? Because if you copy it and paste it from a different place, or you had someone write this for you, there are always ways to find out that information, right? And especially if they are the same one as another applicant, both will be disqualified from the program, right? Make sure to separate paragraphs, right, and use proper punctuation after every sentence, after every paragraph, right? And make sure you answer all of these questions, right? So the first one could be a short introduction. The second paragraph, you may answer this question. The third paragraph, you could answer the second question. The fourth paragraph, the last question, and you could end up with a short conclusion, right? So all in all, about the 5 paragraphs. Okay, and to make sure you have 400 or less words. Once you're done, you save this. This is very crucial because uh, you will have to write it all over again if it's not saved. You can also copy and paste here. Okay, any essay you have written a different word processing program, you can simply paste the text. Okay, and save. Um, yeah, there you have the long essays. So you have 3 essays. Well, you need to respond to all 3 essays, right? The 3 of them in English and in your own words, and the same recommendation, right? Uh, they will evaluate your English written skills, but they are interested in your ideas, and being honest is part of this, right? First question: how does the Youth Ambassador program satisfy your desire for a particular kind of learning community and future? Yes, so include some of your own wishes for the future and how they relate to Youth Ambassadors program. So, what do you pretend to do with everything you learn in this program once you are back, okay, in Bolivia, in order to benefit your community, right? and what plans you have for the future regarding this program, right? The second one, reflect on a time when you challenged a belief or idea. What encouraged you to act? How would you make the same decision again, right? So you gotta reflect on one thing that happened in the past about any challenge you had or you faced in life. Uh, how did you deal with the situation? What encouraged you to do so? And if you had the same situation, if you were in the same situation, what would you do it again? Why? Okay. And the third one, well, at least here it doesn't say how many words, right? But still, you get the number of words. So I would suggest between 350 words and 500 words is a good number of words for a well-rounded essay, right? So don't forget this number of words, right? So within those boundaries, not too short, not too long. And you do the same for the three essays. Don't forget, an essay needs an introduction, the body with at least three paragraphs, and a conclusion, right? So that should add up between 350 and 500 words. Uh, Once again, save your changes every time and make sure that the application has been saved online. After that, you have the letters of recommendations, right? As it says here, please upload two letters of recommendation in the respective upload spots here. Please upload your document as a PDF or JPE, JPEG file, right? So both letters, okay? Letter number one from a teacher at your school or language institution. Letter two from an adult leader at an organization that you have volunteered or position of leadership or active membership. So it could be, I don't know, your coordinator in the Access program or in Inspira, right? Or any other program you belong to. Both recommendations should be by an adult that is not related to you, so it cannot be a family member or friend, right? An adult should know you well enough to talk about your leadership abilities, character, and ability to handle situations under pressure. Make sure that your recommender includes full name in the letter of recommendation and that they sign it, right? Recommendations may be completed in Spanish or English, right? You gotta attach this for the letter of recommendation right here as the, the ones previously, right? You choose the file as JPG format or PDF, right? And the same for the second one. Yeah. Here you have the same forms we've used to complete the letters of recommendation. You can download them if you wish. And make sure to save everything online. Last but not least, we have the submit. So this is where you can see the application status. Okay, so make sure you have reached 100% in all of these. Okay, background education, parent information, international travel, language ability, short essays, long essays, and the letters of recommendations. After that, you check in this box here. By checking this box, I verify that the information in this application is true. I agree that if chosen for the program, I will participate in all program activities, including the pre-departure orientation and follow-on activities. And then you click submit. But you need to be sure that everything is in order, everything is complete. You have 100% completion in all of these parts, and then you can submit. And make sure to do it with enough time. Don't wait until the last minute because sometimes the website gets loaded with lots of people doing this at the same time. Okay, so at least try to do this 1 day in advance, right? You could also have one teacher or mentor review your application before submitting, right? Okay, well, so I guess this has been all. After that, you can log out if you're using a computer outside. And well, I'll be waiting for your questions, comments, suggestions on this video. Thanks for watching this video, and you can do this. Okay, good luck on your application. Thanks for everything.